There's a new Greedfall game? Yes. What's a Greedfall? Also yes. I was able to get an early look at Greedfall 2, The Dying World, and if you have a few minutes to spare, let me tell you about it. So, having no knowledge of the first Greedfall game, I went into this knowing next to nothing, other than I guess it's an RPG. And yeah, that's it. So we're in for a ride. As a short synopsis, Greedfall is an action-adventure RPG set in a fantasy world. Some characters have bows and arrows while others have guns, so that's the sort of vibe we're working with. It's a prequel to the original Greedfall, so you don't need any prior knowledge about the characters of the world to dive in. The combat is tactical with instructions on how to sort of command your companions and to keep yourself up in a fight. The game starts with a character creator. You get to choose all of the basics like gender, face shape, voice, hair, and the color of your hair and skin. If you like poking around in the character creator, then this is not for you. There's no editability with the faces, but honestly, I have no complaints about the options that I was given. Plus, I will note that the main character is narrated, which I always do appreciate out of my RPGs. I'm looking at you, Dragon Age Origins. Pretty quickly, we do get some much needed info. It seems that there's a sickness in some foreign countries and that there might be a cure on our main character's home island. Now, I was only able to play the early access, but I know an adventure hook when I see it. But first, we have to participate in some kind of ritual which will transition our characters from student into sage. But wait, there's more. In order to complete this ritual, we're first given a couple of tasks. I won't dive too deep into them, but you need to 1. Find out what's causing the animals in the nearby forest to disappear. Spoiler alert, there are trappers nearby. And 2. Figure out what's making the people of the village sick. Another spoiler alert, there's a mine nearby that has some nefarious, let's say, dumping habits. Throughout all of this, the game softballs you some combat so that you can get the hang of it, and if you stay to chat with some of the townsfolk, you may find a side quest or two. For now, I just stuck with the main quest. The markers on the map are great because there's no jumping ability, so you kind of have to stay on the marked paths. These paths are shown on your map, but that honestly did not stop me from forgetting every 5 seconds and trying to jump over some rocks. Now, if you know anything about me, I am a loot goblin, okay? I need to grab anything and everything. From what I can tell, there was no carry capacity limit, so honestly, color me impressed, but there also isn't a ping ability to kind of scan your surroundings for interactable objects. There is, however, a tracking mode, and it kind of gives me Witcher vibes. As you walk, objects are highlighted for you, which does include plants or animals along with any useful tracks or clues. As for the quests you're given, they're relatively easy to follow. The only parts I struggled with were the steps that required other objects to complete. For example, there's one part of a side quest where you're helping some hunters get out of some traps that were laid by the nearby trappers. They required 2 health potions, which I did have, and 2 lizard ointments, which I needed to craft. My one ask would be to get some kind of recipe book that has your known ointments and potions. I needed 1 ingredient for the lizard ointment, which was a purple flower of some sort, and because I wasn't at a crafting table, I couldn't look at the recipe to remember what ingredient was that I needed. But I digress. Because of this lizard potion, I was set about to explore the area and look for it, and I did stumble upon my favorite spot in my playthrough, the Seafarer Ruins. So your companions tell you that this place is haunted, which is a good enough pull for me to have to check it out. It's also in what's called a restricted zone. There are a bunch of these throughout the map. It kind of means that anyone that you encounter in this area is going to be hostile, and whatever faction controls that area will think poorly of you for trespassing. So don't get caught. I'm not one for stealth in my video games. The only game I found any kind of enjoyment in being stealthy was in Horizon Zero Dawn. And luckily for me, this game was pretty similar. There are thick bushes that I could sneak into, and you have the option of knocking someone out to keep up the stealth. And the guards had terrible vision, so that really helped. So what did I think? The visuals and voice acting were my favorite parts, specifically the forest areas and our main voiced protagonist. I think some of the companion faces are giving Fallout 4, but I also didn't have my settings on Ultra, so your results may vary. This game definitely has an audience that will really like everything that it has to offer. Tactical combat, a pretty environment, crafting, companions with backstories and depth, and much more. But I don't think it's for me. And let me tell you why. My main audience gathers on Twitch. So my audience is used to live stream gaming, and I don't think Greedfall 2 is a great game for streaming. At least not the parts of it that I got to see. One of the things I mentioned earlier is that your protagonist is voiced, which is something that I will always advocate for. But it's important to note that your character as well as your companions all speak their own native language, which then is translated at the bottom of the screen for you. This is a fun narrative choice, and as a player this is great. You feel connected to these characters, and because you only hear English when talking to someone outside of your community, it really hammers home the us versus them mentality that some of your companions have. But with streaming, most people aren't fully engaged, which means they're watching the screen less than half of the time and are most likely only listening to the stream. Because the characters are discussing plot, story elements, their own backstories, I find that I would most likely need to vocally translate these things to my Twitch chat. Plus, I'm also terrible at tactical combat. Here is a short clip of my experience with the first combat encounter. Okay, so we're gonna inflict that party, or that, cat. Hey, yo.
Let's show them what we're made of.
Knock it off. Okay, get me out. Get me out. Oh my god, I keep pressing, I've been playing a lot of Inquisition. So I was used to pressing ow! Oh no, this is bad. Oh no, wait, this is really bad. Oh no, wait. Oh heck. Oh heck. Ow. Oh no. Wait. Oh no, I'm gonna die. There's too many! Wait, how do I do a health potion? Oh no. Wait. Oh my god. No, I'm so bad. Yeah. Overall though, don't just take my opinion on this. Greedfall is currently in early access, so there's plenty of time to try it out for yourself and see what you think. If you've played the original Greedfall, let me know in the comments how you feel it compares to this new Greedfall. And if you're interested in checking out Greedfall 2, let me know what you're most excited for. That's all from me. Thank you again to the Greedfall team for letting me get early access to this game. And I'll see you guys in the next one.